This is the I Read Comic Books podcast. I'm your host for today's special Patreon episode, Daniel Martinez, and I'm joined by the wildest bunch. Today we have, first of all, our guest, comic creator Kyle Starks.
That's me. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me. That's me, Kyle Starks.
I'm also joined by another wrestling aficionado, Paul Jaisley.
Hello, humanoids.
And of course, we have a wrestling episode. We have to have Zach McCrary on.
I have been trying to make this episode happen for so long because we are the three wrestling guys on the podcast. You have no fucking idea how happy I am that we're finally doing it.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to dive deep into wrestling and comics. We're going to talk to Kyle because I feel like Kyle has brought that together in his latest book, Wrestle Heist, very well. So we're going to go deep into all that. But before that, I want to send it over to Kyle. Kyle, do you want to tell the people, what are you currently working on?
Oh, yeah. Currently, I only publicly printing on shelves things. I only have two books. I have Wrestle Heist, issue 5 comes out with the final issue 5 comes out this month. Issue 1 sold out, so I don't know what to tell you. And I'm doing a book with Vertigo called End of Life, and issue 3 comes out this month. So I'm a Vertigo's man, and I'm an Image man. We're doing okay. We're doing all right.
I gotta say, I think you're doing a little better than okay. You just had a book wrap up with Dark Horse as well, Devil on My Shoulder, which let me tell you, it is very different from your other books.
Oh yeah,
but it's very, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
I also recommend that.
I'm super proud of everything because that just ended. It just ended 3 weeks ago, I think, and everything that I have coming out on shelves right now is exactly the way I want it to be, which is very rare. Nothing I would change. No notes. I'm very pleased with all of it. It all came out great. And we're about to do we did a Kickstarter for Where Monsters Lie, Volume 3 last year, and I'm mailing those books out basically tonight and tomorrow and for the rest of my life. And that's the same. It's it came out exactly the way I wanted it to. I'm very lucky about 2026 so far, or into 2025, 26, whatever. We're doing great.
That's awesome. I love that. So how in your world, how many books do you usually have just on the back burner that are about to drop at any given time, would you say?
For me, it really, really, really varies. I've been doing End of Life. I thought so. In the new Vertigo, there's a new guys. They brought Vertigo back. They asked Kyle Starks to do it. Very special. What an honor. But basically, I thought that was going to come out April of last year, and then I thought it was going to come out in November of last year. Okay. I have written 10 issues of that series. I'm so far into it. I've been working on that book for so long, and because I didn't want to mess it up, I really focused on that book. Also, however, because I thought it was going to come out basically a year earlier than it did, I have less work than I normally have because I was like, I'm just going to focus on this one book, and then I missed basically a year because they waited a year to put it out. But usually I have, I'd say 2 to 3, but not like a Jed McKay 2 to 3. You know what I mean? It's usually I'm wrapping. Well, first of all, they're all miniseries because no one's giving me ongoings except for End of Life. That's the only ongoing anyone wants me to do, which is great because I want to do it for at least a new Universe Maxi Series 36. We hope. That's the hope. Okay. Is the new Universe Maxi Series? Yeah. So it's always 4 issues. So the thing is, the 4 issues, it really 4 to 6 issues really varies on how fast I can just get them done. I could do several times, but then as they actually come out, you never know how that's going to work. And with Dark Horse, they don't really want you to have 2 books coming out at the same time. But I might be doing 3 books for Dark Horse at one time. If I'm drawing something like I did with Wrestle Heist, I try not to be doing a lot. But also, it's literally right now, outside of End of Life, because I'm guaranteed 12 issues on that, so I'm writing 2 more. I'm not doing anything. Right now today, I literally have no work. I have some covers, which is weird. I'm preparing a Kickstarter for something I did in 2021 that's just been sitting there. It's a Free Comic Book Day thing I did for Free Comic Book Day, basically digitally. But I have pitches out. You just never know. Diamond was bad for me specifically because it really hit the publishers I work with the most. I like to brag about this. Wrestle Heist didn't do as well as I would have liked. So it's I thought I was maybe going to do just a series of Image books. But but now I don't know how viable that is for me, because I'm definitely gonna be drawing something soon, but I'm hoping like DC loves End of Life so much, they're like, give him Green Lantern. Don't give me Green Lantern, not that. But something cool, something Justice Gang, like something cool.
There you go.
That sounds fun.
Is always the hope. So usually what happens is I go, well, I guess I'll just start drawing a new thing, 5 issues, and then I'll have 3 books dropped on me. And it's like, well, what's more important? I write for these publishers, or my book waits? And so usually your book waits, which stinks. So it's right now the weirdest time. It's the weirdest time of I've been a professional for 9 years, and today, like literally outside of End of Life, I have nothing. That's not entire. Again, some covers. I got asked to do like a 3-page thing, which is kind of like that's like $200. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to be like, oh, may I please do your 3-page thing for $200? So I was like, I don't know if I even count like stuff like that. Almost feels like an inconvenience more than like cool work, you know? So yeah, it's weird. But I would say the thing is, like, as a writer, especially as a writer, I hesitate to drop names. I always think, like, you know, when Donnie Cates was like at his peak, and they're like, oh, he's doing like 4 or 5. Oh my gosh. It's like, well, yeah, but if you want to make money, you have to. Like, as a writer, you get paid so little. Like, you really need to have 2 or 3 things going at once. And in many ways, writers for some places are just warm bodies, so you're super replaceable. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, you're either taking the work or you're not taking the work, and I'm very particular. So I only do work I think I'll do good work on, which limits probably my opportunities.
But it also means the work that you do is good because you were actually interested in doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've only ever had to take projects that I wanted to do, except for like maybe 1.5 things during the pandemic. But we don't talk about those. They don't exist. If you bring them up, I go, I did a pretty good job though. I did a pretty good job. But yeah, I've been very lucky to always be in a position to not have to do work for the money. And I think also because I can draw a little bit, you know, I don't think I will ever have to do that, because I think I can always just draw something. And even if I put it on Kickstarter, like Kickstarter has always been very kind to me. My Patreons are very kind to me. But yeah, I don't want to do something just to do it. I would do something that seemed weird for the challenge of it. But if I didn't come up with a good idea, which has happened, I've been like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm just not going to do it. And I don't think people generally do that. I think they generally just turn something in. It's like, man, if I don't have a cool name that character bit, like, if I don't like it, no one's going to like it, is how I feel about it.
Makes sense. I totally understand that.
Well, I think, you know, speaking to that, I think Wrestle Heist clearly feels like something you were fully invested in. So let's talk about Wrestle Heist. It feels like a passion project, really.
Yeah. Well, anything that I'm drawing is definitely a passion project. Also, like, like having to explain a lot of those things to some other artists is like, they don't want to hear. No one wants to hear the elevator pitch for those. But yeah, you know, speaking of this free comic book day book that I'm printing on Kickstarter, over the pandemic, when we were all dying, and us comic guys were definitely sweating it. It's super hard because there wasn't conventions, much less comic sales. Publishers weren't taking on work. We're like, oh, good, like the industry's dead and we're out of work forever. I hadn't drawn anything for a while, so I did this thing. I was like, I want to do like a 8-page, pay what you want, like basically free, right? Like maybe someone gives you $1, or 8 to 10 page. I'll do a little mini comic, and I don't want to stress on it. Like I don't want to be in my head about it. I just want to basically shit something fun out. Pardon my language. And so I did this thing where I go, hey, if to my Twitter followers at the time, I was like, oh, if you guys give me a title, you can all vote on it, and whichever title wins, I'll do this little mini comic. And the winner, this was 2020, the pandemic, was Karate Prom. And I put Karate Prom out 2 years ago with Fantagraphics. And instead of doing a 10-pager, I think I did 32 pages in like 10 days. Because the thing is, I hadn't drawn anything for a while, and I forgot how much I liked drawing comics. And because there was no pressure, it could just be anything. I just had a lot of fun with it. And I ended up doing 90 more pages after that, like on my own. And I was like, I'll figure out to do later, which was Fantagraphics. Well, the next year was this book I'm going to do a Kickstarter within the next 2 months called Louise Sprouse. Same thing. It's not my title. It's called Louise Sprouse Stole My Heart, and 2 hours to get it back. And I did this sort of hitman coming of age sort of romance book, which I really like. But it's 48 pages, and no publisher is doing 48 pages. They just it's just been sitting there for years. But the number 2 name to Karate Prom in 2020 was Wrestle Heist. And like I've been thinking about Wrestle Heist since 2020. And every time I have a lull, I go, man, I wonder what that looks like. I wonder what that is. And like with putting so much time into End of Life and doing so many books that didn't sell as well as I would have liked at Dark Horse in 2024, I want to do something that wouldn't upset me, that I'd have fun doing. I'm at my best when I'm having fun. And so I did Wrestle Heist, and it's all the things I like, sort of. I mean, definitely. It's definitely all the things I like. I don't know why I said sort of.
Yeah.
I like wrestling. I like heists. I like characters. I like found family. I like revenge.
Is that basically how it came to you? You just had you had all these things and you just kind of mushed them together, or like what was the genesis of it? Like, how did this idea come about of wrestlers doing this big heist gig?
Yeah, well, like the great thing, like, what is Karate Prom about? It's about karate at a prom, guys. And Wrestle Heist is the same, but the thing is, like, so I'm super type A. Everything has to be planned out. Everything has to be intentional, which is how everything I do, even the jokes serve a function. So there's this thing where you go, like, what is the story though? Like, obviously it's wrestlers doing a heist. Like, it's called Wrestle Heist. Like, there's no trick here. So it's a series of like answering questions, right? Okay, if you have a group of wrestlers who are going to do this crime, what are they robbing? And you go, oh, they're robbing a bank. It's like, no, there has to be something wrestling. Like, it has to be something wrestling. It's like, well, there's not like a wrestling museum or like, so it's like you go, Wrestlemania, which obviously is the best answer anyway, because there's the most money there. If you're going to do heists, it's very Logan Lucky, right? Like, it's very Logan Lucky. Right. I love my heists. I love my heist movies. Not as much as I love my wrestles, but I love my heist movies. And it's just great. So then it's like, well, like what? I remember talking to Chris Schweitzer, who's my best friend, who's colored most of my books. And I was like, oh, my favorite part of any heist story is putting the team together. It's when they do that thing. It's like, now we need someone who reads Braille. And the music's playing. It's like, here comes a blind guy. Yeah, here comes a blind guy. And they're like, no, man, it can't be him. It's like, he's the only one I know who can read Braille. Like, that's my favorite part of, is like putting the team together. And Schweitzer is like, he's like, no, the heist is the best part. And I was like, no, I don't think that's true. But he did say a lot of things that I go, all right, well, I guess I have to put a lot of effort into the heist. And what I learned is that the first 3 issues are so fun to draw, super fun. Before, when I have to explain a heist and then do a heist. And as you know, heists have a lot of flashbacks, or they have things you had to know earlier, and then they go, what you didn't know though was this. And it's like scene change. And I was like, this is organizationally like a nightmare for me, because I was just having a lovely time, and now I have to make sure everyone knows everything that's happening even more clearly than before. So yeah, it's just Wrestle Heist, man. Like, you get there eventually. Like, it's all just a series of but you're like, and like things like that, like revenge. And because here's the thing, if they just rob somebody, it's just a crime, right? And then you have to have lovable criminals, but we're not doing lovable criminals. We're doing wrestlers. We're doing basically actors, right? We're doing athletic actors. And it's got to be the type of thing is like, well, you can't have someone who has a skill outside of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like there can't be, and I'm the computer hacker. And it's like, hold on, what? No, you're the U.S. champion. You're a mid-carder for 15 years. Like, you're the guy who was like who had the job gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, you were you're airplane pilot.
You do
which is a terrible
matches.
Gimmick. Yeah. And so it's like, that's the other thing is like, well, how does this crime work? Like, how can I make it make sense in regards to there could have been 8 guys in this heist, but there's 5, right? There's a reason why there's 5, because I was like, well, this is all you need for this particular heist. And I could add in more sort of like archetypes, like recognizable archetypes, and go, oh, it's supposed to be so-and-so, or most of them are smushes. They're mostly smushes. Because that's how I like my archetypes. I could have done a bunch of them and have been like, oh, that's fun. But it's like, well, they don't serve any function to the story. Then they're just taking up space. Like, it's just one more thing for me to draw that's just work that serves no function outside of maybe someone goes, I think that's Jim Neidhart. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, it's not though. It's not him though. It's not him. So yeah, so it's all like whittling down and making it tight and figuring out what the heist is. It's like, it's a lot of sort of reverse engineering, and like some of the characters, like I always knew there would be a luchador, because I knew what the bit was. Once I figured out, I'm like, oh, they can't actually. I don't know, so spoilers. Issue 1 sold out, guys, so you can only get issue 2. So in issue 2, they're like, oh, like basically he's like, I know how to open the vault in and like MSG is owned by the bad guy, right? Like he also somehow owns Madison Square Garden. It's like the Mid South Auditorium, the Hanson Sportsplex. Very proud of that one. And it's like, oh well, they can't just rob the vault. It makes too like, where's visually it's interesting. Like then you like there's these crowds of people, and so I was like, oh no, like you have to have a swerve. Like there has to be a bunch of swerves because it's a heist. Nothing can be easy. So it's like, oh no, he doesn't even keep the money there. And it's like, oh, I like that, because then they have to do this convoluted like elevator thing. And if I had 6 issues, that heist would have gone a lot longer and probably been boring, but more interesting to heist fans. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, I see that's complicated. It's like, yeah, that's how they like it. They like it when it's complicated. And I just didn't want to do that. And
then you have to add even more swerves, and then it's like, okay, that becomes the movie Armageddon, and you're like, all right, let's go.
Right, which is basically a heist movie, which is 100% just a heist movie, except for they're blowing up a space rock. And that's why like El Hijo wasn't in there originally, but it's like I have to have a swerve. Like there has to be a swerve. And there's a bit during the heist, because 5 comes out, you guys will see, where it's like there's a thing that I do that was always going to happen, but like adding a 5th character makes it more interesting in so many ways, and it allows me to do this other stuff that I want to do. And also, he is inherently a problem because he maybe he sold these guys out, and maybe he's definitely high. And how do you walk across between 2 buildings if you're almost definitely certainly high? So all these little things, that's what you want, like the heist to be interesting too, outside of you want to like these characters, which I think for me, like I'm very character driven, and my whole thing is like I want people to want to spend time with these characters. And a lot of people, like there's a Thanksgiving dinner thing, because I'm also trying to make a Thanksgiving story so I can make Thanksgiving profits forever. It's not real. But where it's like I love found family, and they're like, oh, I could just listen to these. There's someone, I think AIPT, where like, oh, I could just listen to these guys like talk over dinner for like another 6 pages. It's like that's what you want. Like that as a writer, like I could have too. Listen, these guys could just be hanging out and telling like dumb stories that I make up on the road and stuff like that. But yeah, everything serves a function, and so that's every story. But Wrestle Heist, like someone said it to me 6 years ago. And also, like, my first book was a wrestling comic, so I'm always kind of resisting doing a wrestling comic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always resisting it. And I will say also, look at me talk nonstop for at least 15 minutes. Is that another reason why I did it? Is I did think that I thought I'd do a power bomb, maybe opened up the stores where people really wanted more wrestling comics in their comic shop. I'm going to tell you, it turns out what they probably want is more Daniel Warren Johnson and less wrestling. And that was the tough lesson that Kyle Starks learned. But that was another reason why I did it why I did it now. You know what I mean? Why I did it in 2026. Right. Though I will also say, if I was a smart person, I probably would have waited until after my Vertigo book came out, because I would have so many more potential viewers rather than the week before Christmas. Yeah, I didn't think it out. I didn't think it. I just get excited. I'm you guys put it out. Like I'm done. Put it out. I don't think about anything.
Well, I gotta say, I'm glad that the Thanksgiving scene happened. I'm glad Iho is in it, because he has one of my favorite lines. I'm gonna buy me a crocodile.
Yeah, dude, he only has bad ideas. He has the worst ideas.
Yeah, anything that comes out of his mouth is gold, I think.
He says El Hijo has. I like all of them for different reasons, but El Hijo only has, because he's young. He's the youngest and the dumbest. But at one point, he's like, he finds out like his debt is cleared, and he's like, hey, so we can do more drugs. And it's like, no, dude, like quit. Yeah. He's like, no, don't stop it. Like everything he says is, or when he's like, why would I risk going to jail for you old losers? And they're like, because it could be like $1 million. He's like, oh, I would have done it for like 10K. And they're like, no, dude, like that's not okay. It's all bad ideas.
Something you said earlier that I do want to really push home. You were saying that for this book, it didn't need to have more than the characters that you had. Yeah. And I think that's something that you see in heist movies, is sometimes there are extra characters, but they're usually there just to fill out the roster and to maybe have some fun jokes. Yeah, and that's not something that you needed in this book, because you're like, you absolutely are great with characters, and all of these characters had very unique voices. Nice. and you got to know all of them just from their interactions with each other. And there were so many, like, I love Digger, and I love, you need to do a Beowulf miniseries. I need it. I don't care what it's about. Maybe go to space. Beowulf in Space. I don't know, but I want it, and I'll buy it. I'll buy all the copies of it because Beowulf was amazing. But yeah, so good. Congratulations to you on bringing so many cool wrestling, oriented characters to life, because this is a book that I think that people who aren't wrestling fans can absolutely read and enjoy the hell out of. Yeah. But if you're a wrestling fan, there are just like Easter eggs that, like little winks and nods that you're like, I understand that. And I appreciate all that.
Yeah. I feel like Wrestle Heist is such a good title, but if I would have called it something else, I probably would have sold more of them. But also, like, all the books I do, like, I do very niche things. Like, Where Monsters Lie is about slasher monsters. It's like, well, you're like, well, that's not my favorite genre, or I don't know anything about slasher monsters. I'm like, well, I think you'll still you'll still get it. Like, I wrote it. It's not like I didn't write it niche. It's just a niche subject. Like, I think you'll. I was like, oh, you like heists? Like, everyone either likes wrestling or heists. And they're like, well, apparently we really don't like one. We're not going to do it. Like, we're just out. I was like, everyone likes wrestling and everyone likes heists. Are you like one of the two? Are you like having fun? That's everybody, isn't it? It's like, I got you covered, man. Like, I'm not trying to make you watch a wrestling match. I'm not going to force you to watch a wrestling show. Like, it could have been called Hockey Heist. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been called a lot of things. It's called Wrestle Heist because I love wrestling. It could have been called Hockey Heist. Guys, I don't know anything about hockey. So
hockey's hot right now.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I know that I have a stigmatism. I can't see the puck. I literally can't see it. When Fox did the red puck thing and everyone's like, oh, that's so stupid. I was like, this is awesome. I can finally see what's happening. Yeah, I was in the minority. So we love wrestling and I love the wrestling stories more than anything. And so I think, well, if someone's like, oh, there's a really great novel that's set in the wrestling world, I'd be like, let's read it. You know what I mean? Like, let's read it. Like, it's really good. Let's read it. And I think Do a Powerbomb is great. There's a bunch of good wrestling comics. Super Pro KO is pretty fun. Hell's a Squared Circle, which was a 48-page one-shot. Jeez, they used to do it. Like, there's a bunch out there, but it's also, I feel like, it's kind of like
one more.
There's Do a Powerbomb. You know what I mean? There's kind of Do a Powerbomb. That's the best one. But I always be like, I would like more of that. But I feel like for some reason, wrestling fans, they just want a very specific thing sometimes. It's like, well, that's too bad because I just did a free Patreon post, guys. You can go read it about like what my favorite wrestling shows are right now. And they're all on YouTube. Like, they're all on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they're having fun. Like, they're actually having fun and they're trying to entertain me. And it's like that's what I want. And you're like, oh, here's another version of this that's fun. I was talking to a guy. There's a store in Philadelphia who brought me out for WrestleMania. I have my WrestleMania shirt on. I saw him in the story, guys. Don't worry about it. From like row 700, I kind of saw it. I heard about it. While I was in the arena freezing to death. But I was talking like, it's like, oh, like, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying all these shows. He's like, oh yeah, have you watched like Maple Leaf Pro, which is the guy who used to run TNA's thing, right? And I'm like, I have. Okay. I'm like, I have. It's Scott D'Amore. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's a wrestling show. And I'm like there's a million wrestling shows. And it's like, well, what happens on them? It's like, who's on it? It's like, I don't know. Like, who cares? What did they do? Something great? Is it interesting? Is it fun? Are they trying to entertain me? Or are they just putting on a wrestling show? It's like, there's a lot of just a wrestling show. And so I'm definitely looking for things that are trying to entertain me in one way or another past this. And that's because, like I said, like, I'm tangenting to so many things, but it's like, if as a wrestling fan, I loved Do a Powerbomb. I loved it. I didn't love the last issue, but I loved everything before it so much it doesn't matter. But I didn't love the last issue. I thought it should have been one issue smaller, and it would have been one of the greatest things ever made. But I love it, and like, I seek those things out, and so it seems like they didn't really hear. But that's the thing, you want to make a thing that's not just for wrestling fans. You want to make it so that your mom would be like, I love a heist. Let's check it out. It's like, yeah, imagine a bunch of big dummies doing a heist. That's it. Doesn't that sound like fun? Okay. They also pretend like they're other people sometimes. One of them is always just one person, and it's weird. That's Beowulf. Beowulf's only Beowulf. He can only be Beowulf.
Hell yeah.
Beowulf. I think the funnest part not the funnest part, but one of the things I really liked is that you taking the heel, Sterling Steele, and then he's like the nicest dude ever.
Yeah.
Which is probably true for most wrestlers. Like, the one that people hate the most is probably someone that, oh, he was always very nice, actually, and he helped out in the business and knew everybody's name. Like, hey, how's your daughter doing? Talking to the ref while they're in the ring.
I love those interactions. Yeah.
I also, like, it wasn't like, there's that, because whenever I watch something are whenever I do see the rare entertainment that's set in the wrestling world, and they try to do the thing like the wrestling is, guys, it's not real. Sorry, I'm blowing it.
What?
But when they're
Boot him
really
off the show. Boot him off the show. It's over. We're
but when
done.
they're like my job is I fight people in the ring, and then when I'm done, I'm fighting other people because that's like, hold on, what's going on? What are you fighting? Like, are you now? I have questions. Do you are you like salaried? Like, how do you get paid? You got to give me like the fucking like the full details now of how this is your job to fight people on television and not go to jail. Like, I need full and they never do it. I hate that. But like heels, I thought did a real like heels is one I really like because like, hey, there's this performance that goes in ring. The performance kind of matters, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of matters in more ways than just. But I like it when like because I feel like the thing is like the '90s brought me back to wrestling so hard, and it's because of the dirt sheet stuff. Like once I found out like what was going on between Edge and Matt Hardy, I'm like, I'm watching harder. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why are they making them play with each other? That's messed up. That's crazy.
They did that with Benoit and Kevin Sullivan too.
The Booker Man thing, like the Booker Man thing. I remember when the Booker Man thing happened, and I was like, that there's no way. Like, there's no way. And then you go, hold on, what's happening? Hold on, he's fucking his wife. That's crazy. Why did he let his wife spend all this? Hold on. Like, that to me, all that stuff is honestly 1,000 times more interesting than anything that can happen in the ring. Like, and so when I think of wrestling, what I love about wrestling, it's those things. Is that these are these people who do this thing that's this bizarre theater, right? But also, there's this weird political thing for them to have to interact. Like, there's all these little weird things they have to do. They're on the road all the time. Like, all that stuff's so interesting to me. So when I do the story, like, that's the story that's interesting to me. And so the you know, the archetypes or whatever, I feel like him being clearly a bad guy and also being the nicest guy shows you, oh, we're all aware, right? We're all aware. But also, like, I gave him the $1 million man gimmick or the rich guy gimmick, and then he's the one who has to rob someone from it. Like, that's another thing. It's like, oh, that's like a subversion of he's the one guy who shouldn't have to. He should be so rich, but he's not. He's super poor, guys.
One little detail that I really appreciated was Digger and his relationship and how he still calls him Party Boy because that's the name and gimmick he met him with. And so he's like, you always be Party Boy to me. I just thought that was a nice nuance for wrestling nerds.
Yeah, stuff like that, you have to be really, really careful not to go too far. One of my my second Eisner nominee was for a book that was about hobos. There's a kung fu hobo epic called Rocky Candy Mountain, and that was the same thing. It's like there's a lot of jargon and there's like a lot of inside baseball stuff you could do, but I think I'm pretty good at walking the line of, hey guys, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not forcing your mom to speak Khazarni. You know what I mean? To have to read as they speak Khazarni to each other in the ring, or all the many things you do. I think Jason Ayers is a SmackDown referee who's one of my patrons and who loves comic books, who's a big comic supporter, and has always been very kind to me and generous to me. And I asked him a few things, and he didn't really give me anything that I wasn't already going to do. But like, it's like, oh, these are things that should be in there because they're the things that he thought of as like. I wish I did more, and I don't know if I even did, where they call things gimmick. I wish they called things gimmick more often. Like, we got go get. I'm gonna go hit that bathroom gimmick, or you know what I mean. But the thing is, when you do certain things like that, people get very like. I can tell you from just like they do like words are words. Image does spell check. They'll do a spell check for you, and they don't understand heel. They don't understand words like heel. They don't understand get over. Like, there's certain things that are like no, like all four of us, like we wouldn't even blink. Whereas like, oh, that's interesting. They don't know what I got my gimmick over big time means. Like, they were like, is that even English? They're like, what are you saying? I'm like, that's the clearest thing someone could say. They got their gimmick over big time. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of like you were saying the TV show Heels. On that show, they had to find ways to describe what those words meant so people could understand. And you just don't have that kind of length in a comic book to be like, hey everybody, this is what this means every time.
And you know what I hate more, there's, if you look through like the majority of comics, they'll be like, well, that's what it's like being a heel, and then there would be like an editor's caption, it's like, heel is what they call a bad guy. And sometimes because their backs would face the camera, and they're like, no, god damn it, like, it's not this isn't the PBS, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like
pop-up video.
I think contextually, if you read it in context and you don't understand heel, I can't help you. Like,
Right.
I am not trying to exclude anybody, but also like some things you should just know by now. I feel like heel and face are not, they're not even wrestling terms. Like I think they've been adopted into pop culture.
Yeah.
But I do gimmick big time. Like, so I do wish there's a few things like that. I know for sure in the first issue at one point they taught, as Sterling's leaving, someone says, they're like, it's going to be a backstage sellout. And he was like, oh yeah, that's a thing we do. I was like, yeah, that's right. I knew that. I wouldn't have thought to like seek out those words. So there's certain things where there's like, oh yeah, he gave me a specific sequence of words. I'm like, that's good, because it adds layers of realism to it. And you want that. But again, not so much that someone goes, I don't know this and I don't know what's going on. I think anyone can enjoy it. I think they're all likable characters. They all have understandable motivations. They are funny or interesting enough to get through. You're gonna be like, you guys love Beowulf, but I bet most people be like why? They're like Gravedigger. Like, why does he talk like that? Like, I hate it. Just talk normal.
Yeah. God, Beowulf.
You might be wondering if at some point does he stop and talk normal? No, he doesn't. I don't want to spoil that. Like, if you thought at some point he'd be like, listen, Dave, listen, Charlie, we've been doing this for a long time. Going in these things. Nope. He talks like that the whole time.
He is who he is, and I love it.
Well, don't worry, Kyle. Young Rock prepared everyone for your comic book by explaining all the terminology.
Yeah.
Society's
ready for just to, we don't need wrestling terms explained anymore. So
we don't have to have the little box for kayfabe. I don't think I used kayfabe in the whole book.
No, I don't think so. No.
Why would I? You think those guys are like, well, you know what we got to do? We got to kayfabe this. Like, no, dude, no one's talking. They don't talk like that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's fun about the book is like, there are archetypes you're working with, including there's characters I recognize and stories I recognize, but like it's never reduced down to that. The characters are more fleshed out than just it's just the Ultimate Warrior. It's just, $1 Million Man. And like, what's fun though is about some of the backstage stories or the legends, you really didn't exaggerate too much. I love that the bodyguard for Buddy Hansen is just Meng.
It's
just
Meng.
Haku, and totally. You didn't exaggerate at all.
No. What's funny is like people are like, they're like, oh, is that Paul Heyman? I'm like, well, no. I mean, I guess he looks like the bad guy. I guess he looks like Paul Heyman. I mean, he definitely looks like Paul Heyman, but I'm like, he's kind of they're all bad. Like he's just all of them combined into one. And I'm like, oh, well, Sterling. Like, oh, I'm like, no, he's kind of like if HBK had the $1 Million Man gimmick, and I'm like this and this, and it's like, oh, but yeah, Fatu Surveyor is just Meng. It's just Ming. And the thing is, like I made a new story. You know what I mean? Like I made a new story. But if you're a wrestler, that is one of the characters where I think if you're a wrestling fan, you go, oh, well, what if Ming was evil? Like that's a final boss. And at some point, someone's going to have to contend with him as the final boss. And I think if you're a wrestler, that's the thing where you go, you write for everyone, but there are little things that you go, archetypes are great because in a 5-issue series, you don't have time to make people fall in love. With End of Life, I theoretically have 12 issues. Like I have a lot more like runway to sort of have emotional things sort of pan out. So like archetypes are great for that, but also like I don't ever want to do those things. Like I'm subverting them. Like Ultimate Warrior is Macho Man and him together, or Beowulf is Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man sort of smashed together. But like he's also spoilers, like he's openly gay. And he's also Kerry Von Erich. Like he's also Kerry Von Erich. Like he's missing a foot. So it's all things like I'm just smushing as many things as I can together. But then like, well, how do I make it still my own thing, right? How do I make it my own thing? And Gravedigger is just sort of generic old head. Like there's 7 guys that you could be like, it's this backroom guy, this guy, so it's another thing, but I think that's a great thing about archetypes is like you know what you're dealing with and you're in and you're out. I did not think about, and this is not me doing a bit, like I was like, oh my gosh, like was that subconscious? Like did I just do it where Ochobolo and his son are kind of clearly Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. I never thought of it.
Yeah.
I know, but I like, yes, 100% it obvious, but I promise at no point did I go, oh, I should just like scumbag son and tiny little dad. Like I didn't think of it. You just go, what is the problem? Like what the characters serve a function. Like what is the problem? Like, oh, if he's high, it's, and someone said to me, like, I think the first, and I'm like, oh geez. And someone said to me today, which is also frustrating, is in End of Life, which is my Vertigo book, there's a comic strip I'm doing in the back. I'm doing this comic strip because I am there's a basically if Jim Davis got canceled and turned to crime, like if comic strip is, and I'm drawing his strips, and in those strips, Wrong Dog, that's his name's Wrong Dog, he hates everything. He has a cousin that everyone likes, and his cousin's name is Party Boy. And someone texted me like, I think it's great that you have Party Boy in 2 of your books, and I was like, oh,
No.
Shoot, that was a mistake. Like that was a goof. So like, there's a lot of things that happen, and they're not like they're like, oh yeah, it is kind of Rey Mysterio and Dom. But like, if I was going to do a luchador, they have to be a little guy. They have to. So it's just like there's a serious things like, oh my gosh, like how did that happen?
It also plays with just like the lucha libre kind of tradition as well, because
what I love.
You see that so much in Mexican wrestling with the son becoming El Hijo, and like
I love it.
Yeah, I love that about Mexican wrestling. I love it.
So that's the thing. It's like I wanted to do that because I don't know what's going on, which version of La Parka we have. You know what I mean? Like
there's like 30 of them. I
can't figure. Like he's still La Parka though somehow. He's not even L.A. Parka anymore. It's like now they're all La Parka. But I love like how there's El Hijo, and then like there'll be then you get to like juniors, and then there's like El Hijo Junior, and it's like I love it. And then it's like they're not even related half the time. I love that even more. I love the legacy thing, and so it's like I really want to shout that out. Like I really love the El Hijo, and so I wanted to do it. But yeah, someone's like, oh, it's Rey Mysterio. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it totally is. But that's a goof. That was not intentional because it's not them. I don't think it isn't. But then maybe it is. I don't know.
At first, I read them like El Santo and Hijo del Santo because that was also another lineage I'm more familiar with. But then as you meet Hijo, you're like, if Dominic comes out doing bumps at WrestleMania, like I mean bumps of cocaine, that would be the greatest gimmick ever.
Oh my God. He comes out with a crocodile. Oh my God. He comes out some giant tiger, a giant
crocodile
tiger
vest.
Yeah. Oh no.
Dominic with a crocodile, and then Mr. Iguana with La Cisca. So they got it. That's the WrestleMania match I want.
Fantastic. Well, so we've been talking about Wrestle Heist and your love for wrestling, and of course there is a big show that just happens to be right around the corner, right? So I'm told. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be a big show that is coming around the corner. Yeah. So I'm curious, guys, what you think of this upcoming WrestleMania and the road that has been leading to it so far.
I've been told if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. But I've never, ever once listened to it. What a boring ass WrestleMania. I sincerely care about the outcome of one match in the whole thing, and I feel like I'm in the minority because I'm pretty sure we're not going to get what we should, which is Oba and Brock. I only care about Oba and Brock. It's the only one where who wins or loses matters to me even the slightest. Like, do I care who has the unified world title? I don't know what it's called. Like, nah, not really. If Roman wins, that's cool. If Punk wins, that's cool. It literally doesn't matter. Like, that's fine. That'll probably be an okay match. I don't care who's the other one. What's the other big belt?
Cody going against Randy Orton with Pat
Jesus
McAfee.
Christ. I don't care about that either, though. I guess if Randy wins, he's 15. Like, I guess 15. That matters. Who gives a shit?
I want Randy to win, and I feel bad for Cody because I feel like Cody's the one that gets screwed every time WrestleMania. Like
every year,
they push him all year, and then WrestleMania time comes around. Like, oh, sorry, Cody, we got to screw you up before we, so we can have a big moment at WrestleMania, and then we'll figure it out later.
I feel like they really wanted with it. But before he's like, oh, his dear friends always betray him. It's like, guys, you did that 2 years ago. Like.
AEW did it like 5 times.
They did it with the same. Well, listen, it Sting's entire career. So totally, there's a fine line. There's a fine line, but it's like you can't do the same shtick on the same guy. And then it's Sting, where it's like it's not that you should know any better because there was no hint at any point in time. Randy Orton there was no hint whatsoever that he was going to turn on him. Which, by the way, would have been interesting storytelling. What if we had that, guys? What if we had interesting storytelling? But it's like, dude, like there's other ways to make people care who wins or loses. And I'd say number one is maybe not wait till 6 weeks out. Like maybe not wait until Royal Rumble. Because 2 years, the Cody Rhodes in Philadelphia, everyone cared. And there were several. They had Jay versus Jimmy, which everyone agrees was not a good, but we cared. Surely you cared who won between the brothers. Like surely, because that's just enough story. We were talking before it started. There's 13 matches on this card. I care about one of them. That's not to say I don't think there will only be one good match. There's no narrative. There's no I just don't care. I don't care about any. Let me look again. No. You know what?
I really want. I don't even care that much about the Oba Lesnar match. I just want Oba to win.
Yeah, that's
So we
that's the
can
thing.
move on.
But that's the
He
thing.
has to.
He's not going to. I bet he does.
You don't think he's going to? I think he has to.
No, you're 100% right. He has to. But think about all the times, like, I know I'm in the minority. WWE sucks so bad. Like, they don't understand. Here's what happens backstage. You don't know. Is someone's going, probably Brock is going, he's like, listen, fellas. You know, yes, I may have done some crazy stuff with the old boss. We're not even going to talk about that stuff anymore. Don't worry about it. I'm just out in Minnesota shooting gophers, guys. You know, I'm just a guy like you. This is probably my last WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have me. That's fucked up. Don't make me lose on my last. I'm Brock Lesnar. I had a cool nickname. The next big thing. I'm the next big thing. Gotta be the next thing. Backlash. He can beat me at Backlash. That's what's going to happen. And that's my fear. And WWE always does this, where you go, dude. I remember. I can't remember. This is a long time ago, but there was one year where everyone, like Randy Orton, lost in St. Louis, and then Beth Phoenix lost on her birthday. We're watching. It was like, what the fuck is going on with you? WWE goes. They all expect Oba to win, and now we're going to trick them. And you're like, no, this isn't the same. You guys have ran like a pretty inherently racist business. Like, and finally there's some young African-American men who are deserving to be like your top guys. And you have this guy who's probably definitely like a sexual criminal. And maybe by putting Oba Femi over him, you're saying something about the future of the industry versus the past of the industry. And it's kind of a new guard versus the old guard, which is definitely full of like baby people who are definitely sexual criminals. And like, you would be saying something to new fans, and you'd really like, African-American fans would come in. It's the smartest thing. It's what they should do. It's the only outcome I care about. And I think they're going to do the wrong thing, man, because it's WWE.
even if you take out the morality play of it from like everything that you just said, and you just look at it from the vantage point of this was the monster
and
for like
monster.
Almost 2 decades, and this is the new one. This is a passing of the torch to the young generation. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah. They're also like, WWE's sort of famously bad at the passing the torch moment. Like, they almost never
wrestling
get it
in general is bad at passing torches.
But like, the things like that you think matter. Like, do you remember how mad people were that John Cena lost in his last match? Do you remember how mad they were?
Right.
It's like, you know what? That's what vets do. Vets are supposed to go down on they're supposed to leave on their back. That's like wrestling. That's like baseball rules, wrestling rules. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're a vet, you go out on your back. You put someone over. You make the next guy better. It's like, nah. Like, people are so mad about it. It's like, no, like, that was the best thing you could have done. You know what sucks is that was Gunther, and I love Gunther, but he's so misused and just like wasted. And like, they should have had Trick Williams do it. They should have had like any number of guys that would benefit. Who was the guy that, Joe Hendry. They could have had Joe Hendry do it. Now, Joe Henry's 75. We all know that. So he's not got a long, he doesn't have a lot of road ahead of him, but like, he's on the road now, right? He's on the road now. Sure. So doing something like Joe Hendry doing that is dope. And I get it. They want to define Gunther, but it's like, that's the thing with like wrestling storytelling is you look at it on paper, you go, oh, if Gunther beat Cena, he beat Goldberg, he's now the new legend killing Randy Orton, which is great for Randy Orton. It's when we all started to care about Randy Orton. So yeah, but if you don't do anything else, it doesn't matter. Like, if you do nothing else, it doesn't matter. If they did nothing before, you have to actually think about past, like, this one moment seems like a good idea, and they never do. And that's why, like, I'm super worried that Oba's not going to win that match. I'm super worried about it. And it's the only match I legitimately, it's the only match I keep looking.
I feel like I'm in the same. I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat because, like, I don't think I've watched a mainstream WWE pay-per-view in over a year. I don't think I even finished last year's WrestleMania. So I'm like looking at this, you know, from the outside, and I'm aware of what's going on because I listen to wrestling podcasts and I'm on social media, but like, the builds feel so like sloppy that it's not even bringing me back in. So I'm looking at the card,
this one. Yeah.
You know, they've kind of like lost me. I guess one match I would be curious in watching. I do love Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I would maybe want to watch that match, but again, I'm looking at it from outside. So I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't, they've wasted Stephanie Vaquer so bad. She's not even on TV. Sure. It's such a nightmare. And the only, they're like, oh, she looks great right now. It's like, I don't know. She looks like she really messed up real bad last weekend or Friday. Like, she looks like she messed up really. That's
like nasty.
People are like, she looks so aggressive. It's like, you know, yeah, but she's not. She hasn't wrestled in weeks. She hasn't defended her title in weeks, and they just go, well, we really like her, and it's like, you like that she does the butt thing. It's weird. It's weird that what you really like. It's like Cesaro's swing. You like the swing, but kind of nothing else. I think she's great. I love Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan kind of just came back on TV and has done nothing.
Yeah.
She's only been back for like 40 minutes of television, and there's stuff happening. Oh, Judgment Day, sure. Let's get to that. By the way, let's get to that atrocity that's going to be on this card. Which should be like. Yeah, what should be like, I should be like, what do you care about narratively? That should be one of them, right? Is that the guy who co-created the Judgment Day, who usurped the Judgment Day, who has ran the Judgment Day, who they've been actually slowly turning face for 17 months, which is crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do. To do so long and like nothing happens. It's just like, oh, guys, maybe we shouldn't be super mean. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, are they your friends? Like, just there's a way to do this that makes sense that we'd care. The thing is, we should care about this match. I think Dom is him and Trick and Oba. I think like there's this youth movement that's so cool and so great. Like that should be a match that I'd be like, I can't wait. I'm really interested who wins, but there's nothing on the line. Finn doesn't get the Judgment Day, or Finn doesn't get kicked out of the Judgment Day if he loses. There's nothing on the line except for they kind of don't like each other, which isn't enough. And I swear to God, you know he's going to do it. And it's never worked in the WWE. It's Finn. God bless you. God bless you. You sweet, sweet man. You talented wrestler. You just eaten shit your whole career. We love you. Don't put the dreadlocks on. Do not come out wearing hell dreadlocks. It never has worked.
It's coming.
It's coming. I think they've pretty much announced it.
He announced it, which is the worst part.
Did they actually announce it?
Yeah, they announced it. They basically announced it. It's not even a surprise moment you're going to get where you go, oh shit, he's bringing out the demon. First of all, if you're bringing it out just because you're kind of mad at your friend, like that's not really like it's not the burning hammer of personas. You know what I mean? Like you want it to be like,
nice
like,
reference.
Thank you. You want it to be like when I definitely have to win, when I'm willing to leave it all on the line, I'm going to let this thing out of me, right? But he's like, man, I'm just going to put the dreadlocks. Why is there dreadlocks? Also, don't do the dreadlocks. I hate the dreadlocks. Remember that when he first did it, it was like Venom. It was just like Venom that he painted on his chest.
It was so cool. Yeah.
Why do you have to have he looks like the ICP logo. It's messed up, man. It's messed up.
I loved it when because for a while there he was doing different paint jobs, like when different promotions, and he would do like different comic book characters. I remember one time he did a Scarlet Spider, and like he did a lot of different stuff, and it was always cool. Really cool. Yeah, and even he said, I think it was on Cody's podcast, he even said that he was unhappy with the way it went down in WWE. Yeah, that he's not happy with the use of it.
They had Demon versus Bray Wyatt, right? Which should, in theory, be like, we should talk about that match forever. Like that.
Theoretically,
we do not talk about that match. We do not want to talk about that match. I love Dom. Everything about him is great. That match will probably be a really good match. But if you don't care who wins, if it literally doesn't matter who wins, then what are they fighting for? Like, what am I supposed to? If they don't care, I don't care. And that's like Cody and Randy. I just don't care. CM Punk. I mean, the thing is, I mean, like, it doesn't matter. Like, not even so much that I don't care. It doesn't matter. If Finn wins, it doesn't matter. If Dom wins, it doesn't matter. Well, it should matter. Every single match should matter. And they say like Jimmy versus Jay, it doesn't matter who wins, but it matters because one's now the better brother. You know what I mean? Like, it does matter. And just by them being brothers, that's all you have to have. Like, something so slim. I don't know. Liv and Stephanie might be a good match. I have no idea what their beef is. I don't think they have one. Liv seems really mad at like Roxy. You know what I mean? Like there seems like people she's mad at that she could actually be fighting with. No idea with the Ray, Io, Asuka, Jade. Like, I don't know what's going on. I know that Rhea won the Royal Rumble, and therefore she gets to fight a champion, and that's it. Like, I don't care. Like, Rhea's won 17 times. Like, it doesn't even matter to me if she wins again. Though, let's be honest, it's better if she does win. It's always better if Rhea is in everything. It's like there's just like, what's the reason? And it's like if you're like Kyle, you can only watch one match here. Oh, what happened?
What's up?
Oh, I thought it closed out.
Oh no,
it did like a weird my thing changed. Yeah, it's like thanks for joining. I was like, what? Like I'd watch the Pinna match. Like the Pinna match, if you're like, I can only watch one match. Yeah, if you're like, I have to watch X number of matches, or you can only watch one. You have to pick one. It's that Penta match. That's the one that like I will want to watch that. I know I will enjoy that match. I love Javon. I love Penta. I don't know why Rusev is there except for to catch people. We love that. Someone's got to catch the people. Like that's gonna be a great match, and it's like a ladder match, even better. It's gonna be a great match. I guess I want Sammy to win.
Well,
I don't know if I even do want him to win.
That match is going to be interesting because I think that what they're going to do is turn Trick fully face and Sammy fully heel.
No, I agree. They feel like there's a chance they do the double turn.
Yeah.
And the double turn, if you can pull it off, is great. But I will say this. It would be a mistake because Trick's a better heel and Sammy's a better face. And to swap them, to think that you will improve them, Trick's a really good face. But Sammy's a better face than he is a heel. Like, we actually care about Sammy. And that's the thing with having a character like Sammy, who they never use. Like, we actually care about Sammy. Like, we actually care if, like, he gets beat up. Like, there's things they could do that makes it so easy for that Sammy to match. Why is he never, like, they were doing that thing where it's like, oh, he's never going to never get the big title. He's never get the big title. Like, oh, but here's the U.S. title. It's like, hold on. That's not, I don't give
You got to find your way to WrestleMania.
That's right. That's right.
I've described Sami Zayn to like friends who were just getting into wrestling or haven't watched since the Attitude Era. I always say that he is like the Mick Foley of this era. He's like the underdog. Yeah, Flippy Mick Foley. Yeah, if Mick could do like somersaults,
dude. But think like in the history of outside of like some really good classic face, like that sort of like sympathetic face that is always ready to fight. That's the best character in wrestling history. And they're like, what if we made him a heel again? His heel bit was he wore a Castro hat and he was a jerk. Like that was his heel. That was his heel gimmick. Like, dude, honestly, just. If they do a double turn though, if they successfully do the double turn, because we've seen it where they do it and like we don't really buy it, but Sammy's so good. I mean, they're only like outside of like Hart, Stone Cold, which is the greatest double turn of all time, right?
The greatest,
absolutely.
Like I can't think of another one where I go, oh, that it really worked. I can't, which doesn't mean there is. I just can't think of one.
Right.
So there is sort of a thing where I go, if Sammy pulled it off though, that is pretty cool. But it's like I kind of want like Sammy won the belt like 2 weeks ago. He's going to drop it to Trick, which is probably what will happen. That's kind of annoying to me. Like that's kind of annoying. Like there could have just not been a belt involved at all. There could have just not done it could have just been a match.
Yeah,
crazy.
Trick Williams keeps like just revving him up backstage for no reason.
I think they wanted to put the belt on Trick at WrestleMania, but they didn't want to do it with what's his name? I can't.
Carmelo.
I just totally Carmelo.
Also,
yeah, thank you.
I kind of wish they would have added Carmelo to the match because that is a three-way is more interesting to me because I know Trick and Melo are frenemies. You know, because I know they're frenemies. So there's this whole thing. They have a history that you can reference into. It's something that's like there's simple. I tell that whenever I talk about wrestling storytelling, there's always this thing that I reference because the things like it's like this is the way we talk about booking, and also like people listen, Triple H isn't booking. He's not Vince McMahon. He has a writer's room. Like it's not how Vince did it. So this is not on him. It's just a bad group. Like it's just a group that doesn't have a lot of unity and unification. Is that NXT is my favorite. NXT is my favorite WWE product and has been for probably since it was the game show. Honestly, like it's been my favorite WWE product. Is that there was a bit when Dusty was running it where he had Corey Graves and Alex Riley start a feud, and they didn't explain it. They just rolled them both out there and said, "Oh, look, a preppy and a greaser, they're natural enemies." That's all you need to know. And here's the thing: they fought like they hated each other because they're natural enemies. It's like one's a dog and one's a cat, and that's how smart Dusty was. It was like you don't have to work hard; you just have to have like clarity of storytelling, and things like this is like if they put Melo in there, and at any point in time over the last 8 weeks since Royal Rumble, they would reference that these guys were once best friends, and now then they're enemies, and now they're together. And Melo's, dude, like there's just show a video package that we'd be like, oh wait, hold on, these guys have a complicated relationship. Then who wins in a match in a complicated relationship, especially if it's your friend who's your enemy, and now you're both on the main. Like there's this built-in story here. For them not to even do any of that is such a mess up. Also, Carmelo's killing it right now. Like him and Ilya,
he's so over,
and he's over somehow. Like he wasn't. I don't understand I don't understand at what point he became over. But Melo in NXT, that's got to be a top 10 NXT guy, right? That's got to be a top 10. Those intros, those pay-per-view intros, like those alone, the him intros with the banners or all the cool stuff he did and Trick talking him out, and I think he's a top 10 NXT character, and I'm glad that he's doing something. He's just so small. That's the one thing that breaks my heart. He's so small.
That's the hard part in WWE.
Yeah, is Ilya hurt? Ilya might be hurt again, but where are those guys at?
They stopped doing good video packages after the Rock and Stone Cold with that Limp Bizkit song for WrestleMania 17. Like that was the top one. We're like, that's it. We can't top that, guys.
Can't
I'm
beat
sorry. We've done the best one of all time.
I may have watched that on YouTube a few times since it's happened, you know.
It comes up on TikTok or like Instagram all the time, and I'm like, no, I think I'm just gonna sit here and watch
Didn't
it for
they
a
just
minute.
do a video package? It might have been on NXT. It was Sol Ruka and Zarya. They did a video package, and I was like, that's cool because here's the thing: complicated relationship. That's all you have to have is this a complicated relationship. And here's the thing, though. I was like, I didn't even watch. Like, I was like, I don't know if it's because I know it, but I was like, nah, I'm not even watch that video package. So I don't know why I said video package. Like, I thought that would work, because it didn't work on me. But I also know. So it's like I don't need that. I don't need that story. You know what I mean? I already know it. Yeah, I mean, I wish WWE, like, you know, the Royal Rumble. I think the Royal Rumble is so effortless for them because you don't have to promote it. Like it used to be, even when I wasn't watching wrestling, I would watch the Royal Rumble. Like when I wasn't watching WWE, I would still watch this one thing because it's just inherently good. Like it's really hard to mess up. Yeah,
it's their big event. I think it's the more entertaining event than WrestleMania.
Yep, because it never lets you down. Someone's like, do you remember in the bad one in like 2008? I'm like, what do you mean a bad one? Like, did it not happen? Did they not do what could happen? The bad one, like they did a really bad job. Like, what did they not throw people over the rope? Like, what are you saying? Like,
there was one where Brock was just taking everybody out for like the first.
Hell yeah,
30 minutes.
he should.
Oh yeah,
but they can't complain about that and be like, well, you know, Kane did it 22 times one year, and that was awesome. Like Kane looks like a history teacher with a funny mask on. Like, who's really buying that Kane's a monster out there? Nobody. But I think because the Royal Rumble is so easy and theoretically would be used to set up. They wait until after Royal Rumble to start doing stories. But it's like the Cody story was great because it was a year. Sammy's great because it was more than a year, right? Like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard. CM Punk every year that he's been back, which was is that 2 years, 3 years?
3?
Just 2, I think.
2.5. Okay. That for both of those going into WrestleMania, it was all CM Punk ever wanted was the main event WrestleMania. That's it. And we cared because it's like, oh, night one. We're like night one. You know, like he gets like finally I'm main eventing WrestleMania. We're like night one. Like that doesn't.
Are you?
Yeah, you gotta get night. You're doing it this year. You're doing it. Like finally, you're doing it. And you're probably losing. That's fucked up. That's sorry. They hate you.
I immediately thought of Punk when he got the night one main event spot. I immediately thought of him and MJF going back and forth, and him kind of crapping on the idea of a night one main event for a wrestling show.
There's a lot of things he said that may or may not have came to bite him in the ass since he's came to WWE. I think he said something about Saudi Arabia that was bad. I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember some other things. That's okay. He's still, you know, here's the thing about CM Punk is that like that promo he cut this week was so good, and every promo those two guys have done against each other have been so good, and it reminds like the thing about. So I'm gonna tell a comic book story. When I did the Rick and Morty comic book for 5 years, you guys maybe heard about that. And at one point in time, they had this thing. Okay, they had this thing called the Rickmobile that was traveling across the country, which was basically like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, but it was shaped like Rick from Rick and Morty, and it sold like T-shirts and shit out of it. I don't know. And it was going to comic shops, and the comic shops were like, "Oh, let's fly Kyle Starks out for this event." And I was like, "Sure, like sounds like a great way to make money." And they were always like hilarious and weird. So I did one in Chicago at Challengers, which is now my favorite store. And they did not fly. I flew out. They kept me overnight, and the next morning they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get breakfast before we take you to the airport." And I was like, "Oh yeah, great." He's like, "Oh, one of my friends is gonna come. Is that cool?" And I'm like, "Yeah. What do I give a shit? You're buying me breakfast. Like, I just want pancakes and eggs. Like, and then to fly home." And as we get closer to the venue, the guy's like, he's like, my friend can't come. And I'm like, "Oh, all right, well, sorry." And he's like, "It was CM Punk." And I was like, this was CM Punk in his last year in WWE or right after he left WWE. So this wasn't like modern. This was best in the world CM Punk, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have any star fucker in me. I really don't. But at that point in time, my wife and I do this thing where I'd be like, "Oh, you can score wrestlers like in like 4 categories. It's like 1 to 5, and it's always like wrestling ability, charisma, entrance, stamina, and something else." And I'm like, "Oh, he's 5 in all of those. Like he's 5. He has no flaws. As a wrestler, he has no flaws. Him saying he's the best in the world. He makes a very valid argument." And I was like, "My dude, I don't know what I would say to that guy. Like, I don't know what I would say to someone who's so excellent at this thing that I like. That I would. Same for Sergio Aragones. One time I was like near Sergio Aragones. Like, what am I going to say to Sergio Aragones? Hey, thanks. You're great. That's cool." And so things like I'm in Chicago a lot, so I kind of have a soft spot for CM Punk.
Sure.
And also I think like he's another thing. It's like I think like that guy's, why is he such a jerk, and why is he, because he was an artist, you know what I mean? Like he was so good at this thing that he was making art and everyone else was just doing their job well. And so to be like, hey, we could really elevate this, and they're like, just do the arm drag. You know, kid, right. Just do the arm drag. You know what I mean? Like I think about like that they put him in that shitty Undertaker feud for WrestleMania, and he made up the story. Like there was no story, and CM Punk created it through promos. Like to be that good at something so great. So this, like, he's doing that with this. He did that with this. There was no story. Punk just made it up with promos, right? Like they just made this, and like that's all you have to do. But it's like it is CM Punk. But I don't want to watch him wrestle anymore. Like I'm worried about him jumping off the turnbuckle and breaking himself again, because he's done that 3 times in the last 2 years. I'm worried about everything he does. And it's like I don't enjoy watching him wrestle anymore. Whereas I used to, I would love CM Punk matches. Like I love to see it. It's like, so it's like that match will be good. I just don't want to watch it because CM Punk stresses me out now. But he's so good on the mic. Like at least I kind of like, at least it feels like that feels like a night 2 main event match. I just don't care.
It does.
I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins at all. Though I guess I do, like a part-timer winning always kind of irks me. You know what I mean?
It should.
But if they go, oh, this is Roman's going to do 1 more year, he's not going to do part-time. He's going to do the John Cena 72 appearances or whatever it is, 32 appearances.
I think
you heard it here, CM Punk. Go back to writing comics.
He wasn't good at that. Let me do that.
I never read that. Didn't he? He did a Drax book, right? And I think he might have done a Thor story.
He did Thor too,
I didn't read any of it.
They were pretty co-written also, I believe. Pretty co-written.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they say who it is.
We'll let Pal start writing comics then, I guess.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me write all of them.
I think.
All right. Any final thoughts here as we kind of start wrapping up, Zach? I know you got something.
Yeah, on that CM Punk. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like a 4-hour show. On the World Heavyweight Championship match, I think that the thing that does intrigue me about that match is that I'm not sure. Like even though like I see your point about like it doesn't matter to you who wins, but I think what intrigues me about it is I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, agree.
Because I can make a really valid argument for either one being the choice to win. I think that's what makes that one interesting.
Let me ask you this, because of these 13 matches, how many do you think you definitely know who's going to win? Because I don't. And the thing is, like, if AJ Lee wins or loses, literally doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make me feel one way or the other. If Seth or Gunther wins, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know who's going to win. Like, no one benefits in any way. Like, Jade probably wins, but also I think they also go, well, if we're going to get the belt off of her because she kind of sucks, now's the time. So, like, maybe she doesn't win. Like, but also, like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't, like, none of these, if Dom wins or Finn wins, it doesn't matter. I mean, if Dom wins, it means the demon. It fucks the demon forever, I guess. But like,
it should never happen again at that point. Period.
Yeah.
It should just be done.
If that was the match, if you lose, we never see the demon again, I'd be like, hold on, guys. I'm locked in now. Now I'm locked in. Now I care who wins. Go, Dom, go. Yeah, there's stakes, man. Yeah, I just think it's a weird card. I think
hair versus dreadlocks match.
Please. mustache versus dreadlocks. It doesn't even matter.
There you go. Yeah. But I just want to maybe like reiterate, maybe like people are listening to this, maybe aren't as deep wrestling fans. Part of loving wrestling is complaining about it. So all the shit we're talking, it comes from a place of love. I do want to make that clear. Like we do like wrestling.
Here's the thing. I think there's 2 types of people who complain about things that they like. They're the ones who just like, I don't know if it's weird. I was talking about like comics, wrestling, music, some like horror movies, some, but comics and wrestling specifically, people, the more popular something is, the more naysayers there are. And I don't know if that is I don't know what that is, but my thing is this, because I've gone in and out with WWE literally my entire life. Whenever it reaches a point where I go, oh, they don't care about me. They're not trying to entertain me. They're just trying to do McDonald's. I quit. And that being said, like, it's like, what's your favorite wrestling? My favorite wrestling things right now. Two of them are WWE products. I love NXT. Is NXT always good? No. But you know what it's like? It's like a high school musical. Those kids are always trying. They all have stories. There's narrative. They wrestle pretty good. And they're always trying to entertain me because it would benefit them long term. And even when it's bad, and I'm not going to say Miles Bourne specifically out loud as a problem, but even when it's not very good, they're always trying really hard. AAA is everything I want in a wrestling show. It's everything I want in a wrestling show.
It's been
It has
really
characters. It has narrative. It has great in-ring stuff. It has guys you're just going to see cool wrestling stuff. Yes, they did bring TJ Perkins back, and none of us are happy about that. But we still get to see Mr. Guana every week. You know what I mean? We get to see Mr. Guana every week. Like that's an hour of free wrestling that I have never said anything bad about, and I don't know what I would say bad about. Like I was talking to Jason. I'm like, oh, I love what Omos is doing right now. So happy to see Omos out there. Believe it or not, JCW, unbelievably, is like the best show wrestling show right now. It doesn't make any sense. Dude, it's an hour, it's free. It's an hour, it's free, and it's a tight. They brought Vince Russo back, and it's pre. It's like when he was what was his the fake name he used when he was writing the wrestling magazine?
Vic Venom.
Yeah, it's like Vic Venom. It's like there's no ego. It's just him doing what he does. Everyone gets a story. They're either silly or they're entertaining, and like they're more entertaining than not. People have character. It's just Vince Russo like just doing his thing with no ego with the weirdest guys on the planet. And it's not even that, like Willie Mack's in there, and you know there's a bunch of dudes that are really likable. It's great. And it's like there's wrestling, there's really good. And something like AEW, and I'm like, yeah, I like story. Like I don't know, I like stories. I don't know what to tell you. I was with AEW for a long time, and I probably left. I left right before Tony Storm. Got to do Tony Storm. And I was like, I miss Chuck Taylor. I miss. I don't know why the Acclaimed just suddenly didn't get booked anymore. Like it makes me so mad. Like what's going on here? Why isn't Keith Lee ever on TV?
Right.
And I quit because they do stories and people are like it's better. I'm like, listen, I only have so many hours in my life, and you have to earn those hours. So like, I don't care if I watch Raw. I never watch anything live anymore because I'm working. I don't care if I watch Raw anymore. If I miss it, who cares? I don't care if I watch SmackDown. I care a little bit more because I've always liked SmackDown better. Like I don't care, but I do see NXT every week, and I watch AAA every week, and I probably watch JCW every week. And there's two other really dumb things that I recommend only because I love talking wrestling. Evil Uno put all the first 12 mystery wrestlings up. There's so much fun on YouTube. Wrestling. There's so much fun. Episode 3, if you want to skip, don't do it. But episode 3, they do this in the beginning where everyone's in cloaks for the first match, and then because it's mystery wrestling, you don't know who it is. In episode 3, it's 4 Spider-Man. You have a Spider-Man 4-way, and it's so good. And if you're an AEW guy,
just for the meme,
yeah, and they 1,000% do the meme. Sorry, if you didn't think they were not going to do the meme, you're mistaken. But like it has like Ethan Page, it has Todd Castle, I think is the first company. They do all these rotations, and they always have one guest star, and like Emi Sakura or Daniel Garcia. They always have like at least one real wrestler, but they have these ongoing things. There's kind of Psycho Mike, that's hilarious. Those are longer. They're like 2 or 2. They're pay-per-views. You know what I mean? And I just discovered this thing called Super Wrestlers, which supposedly has 12 episodes out of Chicago. I can only find 5 of them. I watched all of them in a 24-hour period. They're 2.5 hours long, and it's basically Chikara on acid. I can't explain it. It's fun. There's some sort of He-Man thing where there's characters coming from Cross Turnia and they're fighting for the kingdom. There's a guy Stephen Flo came out of there. We all know Stephen Flo, who's also in JCW. Stephen Flo came out of Super Wrestlers, and the guy who books it is also the ring announcer, also writes dedicated theme songs for everyone. And every one of those theme songs kind of sounds the same, yes, but they're bangers. I was sorry, what's my like JCW also has a tag team that's zombies. Like they're actually zombies. They're not doing a bit. They're called the Outcasts. And right now they're learning that they react poorly to drugs and alcohol, which is hilarious. I can't wait to see where that goes. Does Super Wrestlers is so good. I can't recommend enough. But there's supposedly 12. I can only find 5. If you watch any one of them and you like it at all, because it's silly, but it's also amazing. There's only 2 titles. One is called The Prize. It's a piece of space junk. And it's the main, if you win it, you're the master wrestler. And it's a piece of space junk that grants some sort of advantage power-wise to you. And it's different character to character. So one guy like absorbed his nemesis into it. It's cool. It's a cool thing. And it's not a belt. It's like this thing they hold up. And the other one's called the Hot Potato title. And only the worst wrestler gets that belt. So the only way you can get rid of it is by pinning somebody. And they do like a lady won it, she lost it, and they're like she's talking about how much she hates Earth because she's from Costernia or from the space or interdimensional. There's all this interdimensional stuff that you think would be dumb, but it's fun and smart. And she's like, I hate all your music. I hate Built a City by Starship. It's like that's the worst song. And then they play her new entrance song, which is Hot Potato to the music and melody of Built a City by Starship. And like little stuff like that. You're like, this is so funny. But here's the thing. It's just like JCW. It's just like Lucha Underground. It's just like AEW. It's just like NXT is that everyone has a story. And even if it's kind of silly, it's still great. Everyone bounces off each other ways, like, oh, they all exist in the same world, and like that is so important and fun. So there's lots of great wrestling. There's lots of great wrestling. Then there's probably the wrestling that you like specifically. It doesn't have to be WWE. It doesn't have to be McDonald's. You can go eat Chipotle for a while. You know what I mean? Like there's other stuff. I love wrestling. I think WWE is like when the Knicks suck. Is that how? Like one, like you have all the money in the world. You could get whomever you want in there. You know what works. Surely, you know what I mean. You have how many years of this is WrestleMania 43? 42. I was looking at my shirt. You've had out of 42, like you've had like 27 good ones. You know what I mean? Right. Like you had 27, good average. 27. Good, like just go. How come that worked? It's like because we cared about the people. Like we cared about the character. And I'll tell you, as I speak at length, as you're like, let's wrap this up, and I said no because I never get to talk about any of this stuff. Is I feel the same way in many ways. I think DC's turnaround, but I feel the same way about the big two, where they're just like, well, you know these guys, and I think that's why Absolute does so well. Is because they're like, hold on. People like it when we know who these characters are, when we're reminded of why we like these. The characters are more important than who they fight. Yeah. And I think like Marvel's real bad at that, and Marvel's not doing well right now. They should. I wonder if Kyle Starks is available to do anything. Probably. But you know what I mean? It's like you do this thing where you get away from being like, what really matters is who are these people? Why do we like them? And what do they do? And in wrestling, you can literally change that. You can put a mask on a guy and he can be somebody else. If that didn't work, or you can have them just turn bad and see if that. Like, there's so many things you can do. And it's just like, guys, I feel like this is Cody. The Cody year was good, which was 2 years ago. The year before was the year when he didn't win. Like that wasn't a very good WrestleMania either. And it's not because he didn't win. Yeah, it's just because they did the exact same thing as this. Let's plan after Royal Rumble. How about playing for 8 months? And here's the thing: you go, we should have had Seth versus Braun Breaker, which probably would have been pretty good. I would probably care about that. And it's like, look, shit happens. And it's like, then it would have been Seth versus Bronson Reed. I don't know, that would have been cool too, because he did murder him. Whenever he murdered him, he jumped on him like 400 times. Like, that was awesome. That was the best. Like, shit happens. But it's like now you have the Usos and Logan Paul, who's great for television on your pre-show or some bullshit. And like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're not even fucking trying. You have 2 nights and you're only doing 13 matches. Like, what are you guys? They just don't care sometimes. Why is it Las Vegas again?
Yeah. It's funny because they did what was basically, and I'll say it out loud, they did what was basically probably the greatest wrestling story of all time, and it ended well with with Cody finally ending the story. I think that it's probably like the most emotional I've ever been at the end of a pay-per-view. And they had this, and you could go back and see the formula that they used for it, but then they just didn't use that formula again. Or they attempted to, and I think they attempted to with Cena and with The Rock and like that whole thing, and it failed, and now they're gun shy of trying to do that again. I think that's the problem. They're gun shy of trying to do that.
That's very possible, as they felt like they did a big swing and they missed, which they did. But like everything the Bloodline did for 5 years was great, because you're constantly telling stories within the confines. Why we don't get to hold up the one? They're the ones. We're the twos.
Right.
I'm acknowledging my
that's fair. That's fair. But it's like it just makes me so. And I feel like if like, and I love him, but like this right now feels like it's Drew McIntyre's career. It's the same thing. It's like, man, so close to being good so many times. He's great. Like, it's great. These guys are great. I love these guys. I want them all to do well. I want great stories. But man, they don't really ever give it to me. They just don't ever really they get close. And sometimes it happens. I think the Cody thing was great. I think the Sammy storyline, I think that Sammy Bloodline storyline, which I think also ended poorly, by the way. I think the final act, like the very final act, was bad. But everything leading up to that moment, from the moment he joined, is so good. Like, that's theater. You guys know how to do this. Dusty Rhodes could do it just with putting 2 archetypes in a row. Paul Heyman can do it with his eyes closed. Like, who's making the decisions? I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me. And I feel, and again, that's literally why I don't have 3 hours of AEW in my life, is because I'm like, why would he claim to ever be off television? Why you're making no sense. Like, none of it makes any sense. You're booking. It's like, I know you want to see so-and-so fight so-and-so, but it's so easy to give them a reason that matters. And it's so easy. And it's like, oh, it's easy for you to say, Kyle. I'm like, well, I know. I guess it is. Like, it's kind of what I do for a living. but also I don't think it is because they have 1 billion. Like every independent has 10 matches on it. Like there's so much just to draw from, and it's not an industry. I mean, I said it earlier, but it's not an industry everyone's been like, well, that's kind of like when Dusty and Rick fought in '87. No one's ever done that. You should just do that again. Like, look, why was Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat so good for so long? Just do that again. Like, I don't think you understand. It's not hard.
In wrestling, it's an instance where people, they don't say it in a sad way. They're like, oh, this is totally Rick and Dusty.
They love it. Yeah, they love it. They love it. If you come out wearing Terry Funk's gear for a hardcore match, that's awesome. That's not derivative. So cool. It's not derivative. It's awesome. Like, I try to understand. It's like, it's so easy. And then to like, I just feel like they just make decisions on the fly sometimes. It's like, well, sometimes you probably have to because injuries or someone's sick or someone's not panning out like they're supposed to is legit. But when you were like, hey, we're going to put, I'm not going to name any names, but I'm probably talking about Jade Cargill, who I actually like, but I feel like they've mishandled her outside of her when she first showed up with Bianca. I thought all that stuff was great. Is you go, we're going to put the title on them and it's sink or swim. Obviously, if Trick wins, it's the same. If Oba wins, like right now, if they win it right now, you're kind of doing a sink or swim. And I think Damian Priest was definitely one of those situations, right? And I thought he did pretty good. But they clearly disagree. They clearly 100% disagree. Where you go, if that's your thing, you're like, we're going to put the title on and see how they do. Then yeah, you don't have a story, but like you should have a goal, right? You should have some goal. And then you go, okay, it didn't work out. We have to take it off. Like, no, that's sure that happens. Sure, I can think of a million times they put the belt on someone, and you're like, oh, that doesn't do anything for that title. Like
Jack Swagger.
I love. Here's the thing, that run, I love the Jack Swagger title run. I love it. The bit where he came out and with all of his titles, and one of them was a Scrabble championship, and he talked about how great he is with his list. They screwed Jack Swagger because it was one of those things where it's like it was sink or swim, but they also gave him nothing. Christian's both of Christian's SmackDown titles were the same. Dolph Ziggler was the same. Where you're like, dude, these guys are literally so entertaining, and you're not even letting them do anything. Was so weird. But that era of SmackDown is probably my favorite. So it's funny you say Jack Swagger, but it's a good example. Like he didn't, but they also didn't give me. So you go, he didn't work that fine. Who cares? But that's an instance where you go, oh, they didn't have a plan for that. Like that's crazy. Well, they didn't know if it was going to work or not. But if you're just talking about what Sami Zayn doing between Survivor Series and WrestleMania, I think you should know. I think you should have a general idea.
Probably have a plan. Yes.
Yeah. Or whatever is.
I'm going to tell you
a pay-per-view before Royal Rumble. Kyle. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you who does tell great stories, and that is our guest, Kyle Starks. I want everybody to go check out Wrestle Heist. Go pick it up, whether you pick up the singles or the collection coming out in the summer. Go check out. I don't want to rank the Vertigo books because I love all of them, but End of Life is really fucking good.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you.
So I won't rank them because I don't need to put them against each other. They're very different. But End of Life is really fucking good. And if I will say, Kyle, if you can make people like Eddie Stallion, you're a genius.
Thank
you. If you can make people love that character. Kudos.
There's wrestling stuff in End of Life too. There's a little kid at the gas station who loves wrestling. His shirt is Dr. Clown. He always says Dr. Clown. That's his favorite wrestler, Dr. Clown.
That's a great name.
I know you did such a good job to try to get rid of me, and you almost did it, and I'm really proud of you. Is that End of Life is an ongoing as long as people support it, and I think it's really good. I think word of mouth is going to. Is that I 1,000% have a bottle issue that involves them going to a wrestling match and it going very poorly, and I want to get to that. I want to get to the point, which is going to be after 12. It's at past 12 is 12. If we do 24, it's happening. I need to get past 12 because I want to do this bottle wrestling episode where Eddie takes Leona's son, who I'm blanking on his name, Trent. She takes Trent to Palmyra to see the wrestling show because he wants to see Dr. Clown. Yeah, I want to do it so bad. And I think in issue 10, he names 2 other wrestlers. So I'm building out the world. I
love it.
End of Life and Wrestle Heist. Hey guys, thanks for having me on it. Listen, thanks for having me on here. Guys, go check my comics. They're really good. We think you have a good time. All these guys agree. Enjoy WrestleMania. I know you will. Have your friends over, have a party, make some cardboard belts, have a few drinks. Don't think about the dreadlocks on the demon. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. It's fine.
They're not. They're not there.
You can hang out with your friends.
And I hope
2 nights in a row.
I hope sincerely they go, Starks was so wrong about Obafemi. I hope that's the case. And you know what?
Mhm.
I believe
God, I hope
I'm
so.
manifesting it. I'm manifesting it. The boy WWE is going to WWE. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so
Kyle.
much.
Thank you, Zach. As always, thanks to everybody. Paul, thank you very much. Zach, Zander, thank you for editing this really long episode. We appreciate it. And until next time, comics are good, and so are you.